All right, let's talk about money. Not in the flashy, screenshot your bank balance kind of way. More like the quiet, late night, staring at the ceiling kind of way. You know that feeling when your paycheck hits your account and for about 12 hours you feel fine? Maybe even a little proud. Like, okay, this month might be different. This month I've got it under control. And then rent goes out, bills slide through, subscriptions you forgot you even had quietly help themselves. You buy groceries, but somehow it's way more expensive than last time, even though you swear you bought the same stuff. And then, a week later, you're back to checking your balance before ordering coffee, doing mental math in the checkout line, thinking, how am I making more money than I used to and still feel exactly this stressed? Yeah, that. Most people think the solution to that feeling is a bigger salary, a better job, a promotion, a side hustle. And don't get me wrong, income matters. Of course it does. But here's the uncomfortable thing almost nobody likes to admit. Two people can earn the same amount of money and live in completely different financial realities. One feels calm, the other feels trapped. One builds wealth almost accidentally. The other feels like money leaks out of their life no matter how hard they try to hold on to it. And honestly, I've spent way too much time thinking about this. About money, human behavior, and why some people seem to move forward financially without white-knuckling every decision, while others stay stuck in the same patterns for years. Not because they're lazy or irresponsible, but because they're making a few decisions that quietly outweigh their salary, month after month, year after year. That's what this conversation is about. Not how to get rich quick, not some magic budgeting app, but 5 money decisions that matter more than how much you make. Decisions that don't feel dramatic in the moment. They don't come with fireworks or Instagram posts, but they compound, slowly, relentlessly. And they shape whether money feels like a tool in your life or a constant source of background anxiety. If you stick with me, I want to show you why the real game isn't just earning more, but choosing better. And maybe, just maybe, you'll walk away seeing your own situation a little more clearly. Not with shame, not with pressure, just with perspective. So let's start with the first decision. And yeah, it's one people love to underestimate. The first decision that matters more than your salary is how fast your lifestyle grows when your income grows. This one is sneaky. It feels logical. You make more money, so your life gets a little nicer. You upgrade the apartment. You stop looking at prices as closely at the grocery store. You order the appetizer without that tiny wave of guilt. You finally buy the car you always said you'd get once things are better. And honestly, that's not wrong. It makes sense. But here's the problem. Lifestyle inflation doesn't announce itself. It just kinda shows up, unpacks its bags, and starts charging rent. I remember talking to someone who got a big raise, like a real one, not a cost of living bump. They were excited, proud, and they should have been. 6 months later, they were more stressed about money than before the raise. Same paycheck rhythm, same end-of-month anxiety, just bigger numbers. What happened? Their fixed costs grew, quietly. A nicer place, a longer car payment, more normal spending that didn't feel extravagant but added up fast. And now, instead of flexibility, they had pressure. They needed that income just to stay afloat. This is the moment where people say, well, yeah, but I deserve to enjoy my money. And they're right, you do. The mistake isn't enjoying money. It's letting every income increase permanently lock you into a higher baseline. Because once your lifestyle hardens, once those costs become non-negotiable, you lose options. You can't take risks. You can't breathe. A job loss becomes a crisis instead of a setback. The people who win with money aren't the ones who never upgrade their lives. They're the ones who upgrade selectively, intentionally. They let their income grow faster than their obligations. Here's a simple way to think about it. Every raise gives you a choice. You can improve your present, or you can buy freedom for your future. The trick is not spending all of it on the present version of you. Actionable takeaway. The next time your income increases, pause. Literally pause. Don't change anything for 90 days. Live exactly like you did before. Then decide consciously where that extra money goes. Some to enjoyment, sure, but some to margin, savings, investing, lower stress. That margin is what turns money into power. The second decision is how early and how consistently you invest. Not how much, how early and how steady. People love to say, "I'll start investing when I make more." And I get it. When money feels tight, investing feels like a luxury, like something rich people do. But this is where math and psychology team up in a really unfair way. Time matters more than dollars. Someone who invests a small amount consistently for 30 years often ends up with more than someone who invests a lot for 10. That's not motivational fluff. That's compounding doing its quiet, boring magic. But the real reason this decision matters more than salary isn't the math, it's the habit. When you invest early, even with small amounts, you teach yourself that future you matters, that money isn't just for consumption, it's for building something that exists beyond next month. I've noticed something interesting. People who delay investing usually aren't bad with money, they're cautious. They want to do it right. They wait for the perfect income level, the perfect market, the perfect plan. And years pass. Meanwhile, someone else just starts. Messy, imperfect, automatic. And that person quietly builds momentum. There's also an emotional shift that happens when you invest. You stop seeing money as something that disappears. You see it working, growing, doing something while you sleep, while you live your life. Why does this matter to you? Because investing turns income into leverage. Without it, you're relying only on your labor. With it, your money joins the effort. Actionable takeaway. Start now, even if it's small, especially if it's small. Automate it so you don't have to rely on motivation, and stop trying to be clever. Consistency beats brilliance almost every time. The third decision is debt. Not just how much you have, but how you use it and how long you let it follow you. Debt is emotional. People attach a lot of identity to it. Shame, justification, fear. And because of that, they miss the real question. Is this debt building your future or eating it? There's a massive difference between debt that expands your options and debt that shrinks them. A student loan that leads to a higher earning path can be an investment. A mortgage you can comfortably afford might be a form of stability, but high-interest consumer debt? That's future you working for past you. I once heard someone describe credit card debt as negative compounding, and honestly, that's perfect. It grows, quietly, relentlessly, and it charges you for the privilege. The reason debt decisions matter more than salary is because debt dictates your cash flow. You can earn a lot and still feel broke if your money is already spoken for. Debt also steals mental space. It's background noise, that low-level stress that never fully turns off. It changes how you make decisions. You stay in jobs you hate. You avoid risks that could help you, all because your monthly obligations have teeth. Actionable takeaway. Get brutally honest with your debt. Write it down, interest rates, balances, minimums. Then prioritize eliminating high-interest debt like your peace depends on it, because it kind of does. And in the future, before taking on debt, ask one simple question. Will this make my life bigger or smaller? The fourth decision is who you build your life with. This one's uncomfortable, but it's real. Your partner's money habits matter. Your close friends' norms matter. The people you spend time with shape what feels normal, acceptable, and expected. If your circle normalizes constant spending, upgrades in comparison, it's incredibly hard to swim against that current. If your partner avoids money conversations or treats money as a source of tension, every financial goal becomes heavier. On the flip side, being around people who talk openly about money, who value stability, who delay gratification without making it miserable, that changes you slowly, subtly. This isn't about cutting people off or judging anyone. It's about awareness, about recognizing that money is social. Why does this matter more than salary? Because alignment reduces friction. Two people pulling in the same direction go further even with less income than two people constantly undoing each other's choices. Actionable takeaway. Have the awkward conversations early with partners, with yourself. Talk about values, not just numbers, and be intentional about the environments you put yourself in. The fifth decision is how you define enough. This one is the quietest and maybe the most powerful. Some people make a lot of money and never feel secure. Others make less and feel calm. The difference often isn't income, it's the finish line. If enough keeps moving, no salary will ever feel a relief. There's always a next level, a new comparison, a higher bar. Defining enough doesn't mean settling. It means knowing when more stops adding happiness and starts adding stress. I've noticed that people who feel financially grounded usually know their number, not their dream billionaire fantasy, their real number, what they need to feel safe, comfortable, and free. Once you know that, money becomes clearer, decisions get easier, you stop chasing everything. Actionable takeaway. Write down what enough looks like for you. Lifestyle, security, freedom. Update it as your life changes, but don't let it drift unconsciously. So, let's zoom out for a second. These 5 decisions aren't flashy. They don't make great clickbait, but they shape your financial life more than your job title ever will. How fast your lifestyle grows, when you start investing, how you use debt, who you build your life with, and how you define enough. If you change even one of these, really change it, the effect ripples outward. Less stress, more control, more room to breathe. And here's the part I want to end on. You don't have to fix everything at once. You're not behind, you're not broken. You're just standing at a series of forks in the road, many of which you didn't realize were there. Pick one decision. One. Adjust it slightly, let time do the rest. Money isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. And that's something you can start today, exactly where you are.